What's up, teenage users? I'm back, and today I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant about competitions. Why? Because it irritates me so much how people have their opinion about competitions in Big Brother. So I'm just going to throw it all out there, and I will hope to see all your comments about it later. But here we go. Let's dive right into it. Competitions on teenage, whether it's group game, Big Brother, the stupid comps that they do in the castings and all that stuff. Um, it doesn't matter. Anyone can win them. It's all a fluke. There is no skill involved. No one it can be a competition beast on a level. I mean, sure, some people are more equipped to do a competition, but that doesn't mean they're going to win every single competition. So competition beast is a term that I hate. I don't get why people use it. It's just dumb. Also, I hate when people get to the end of the game as jurors, I'm talking to you guys, and think that the person who won the most competitions played the better game. That's not true whatsoever, and it just irks me every time I hear that people think that the only thing in this game is competitions and that's all there to it, because there's a strategic side and there's a social side that far outweigh the competitive side. So first let me talk about what a floater is. This is my definition. I'm sure a lot of people would agree with me, but a floater is someone who is literally not playing the game. They're not playing the game good on any level. And I'll define it even better as someone who isn't playing the game to win. And there's three levels. There's your strategic, social, and competitive level. So if someone's not playing the competitions to win, right? But they have a strategy and a social game, and that's what they're using to plan to win the game, then they're not a floater just because they don't win competition. The best player ever in Big Brother history, Dr. Will, did not win one single competition both his seasons, his season one, his season two, and All Star seasons, and he won the first season and came in fourth in the second season, and probably would have won that if he wouldn't have got a bad boot. So that just goes to show that just because you don't win competitions doesn't mean you're a floater. Because the Big Brother legend, the person that everyone's measured up to, won no competitions at all. So that should just show right there how much competitions are useless. The people measure up to on competition lines, like Janelle, they haven't won. They've never won Big Brother. So that just goes to further my point that competitions aren't necessarily the best way to win Big Brother. And anyone who thinks they can go in and win every single competition to get them to the end, they're lying to themselves, because it just isn't going to happen. You're not going to win every HOH veto, staggered out throughout the whole season and win the game. It's not going to happen. You will slip up at one point, and that's the point you'll go home. Um, so to be a floater, you have to literally be not trying to win on one of these levels. So either you don't have any of these, like you don't have a strategy, you don't have a social game, and you don't have a competitive side, much like Victoria we saw last season, and you're a floater because of that, or you do have one of these, but these things aren't. They're not helping you to win. Like Christine, who had a social game and she had a strategy, but is really to ride the bomb squad as far as she could and be their fifth person, the first person they boot out. And she knew this. If she didn't, she's an idiot. But she should have knew this. So therefore, she wasn't playing to win. She was playing for fifth place, and therefore she was a floater. She was just gonna ride this as long as it could take her, and know that it couldn't take her to the end. So that's the definition of a floater for me. She wasn't trying to get to the top. If she would have been trying to make her way to the top of the bomb squad or whatever it was called, detonators, then she would have been a strategic player and not a floater, but she just floated through the season, which was really upsetting to see a super fan do. And now, I'm always going to be partial to the strategic side. I think it's the best part of the game, because a strategic person, you don't have to win HOH competition to be the HOH. If I'm working with someone and they win, and I say, hey, I convince them to get up who I wanted nominated, well then I'm just the HOH that week, and I don't get blood on my hands, and I can still compete next week. And that's far better than just winning the competition So I worded that wrong, but in my opinion, the player who's telling that person who to nominate and pulling the strings is a better player than the person who just won the competition and did what that person told them to do. And I think people see this, especially on teenage, all the time. They're like, "Oh, competitions matter so much. This person's a threat and is good at the game because look how many competitions they've won." And I don't see that at all. I mean, I'm starting to win competitions now just to have a better chance at winning when I make it to the final two. But if I would be content with not winning a single competition a whole season if it gets me to the final two, and I know it can because I've done it before. You don't have to win in order to make it far. You just have to put yourself in a good social standing and have a good strategy. And I think that far outweighs someone who can just win comps. Um, and there's something, for instance, Danielle and Dick. Dick was a far better social player and strategic player, but Danielle won all the competitions and she used that to keep him safe. But it was Dick who won in the end, and I think that's a smart decision. So yeah, I mean this is pretty much my rant. I think competitions are pretty much useless. If you count on winning them all, you will fail. I far I think a strategic game is the best type of game. Right below it is a social game, and then the last game is the competitive game. So if you are one of those who relies on who thinks that whoever wins the most competition should be the winner of the season, I really think you should reevaluate the way you evaluate Big Brother players. And I hope to see all your comments and what you have to say about this topic. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my little rant for today. I'll be back soon, I'm sure. But for now, that is all.